Y'all aren't ready for this one. Okay, so today's episode is gaining confidence is key. Hence why I look like this. I'm literally in my sleep shirt, no makeup, hair is thrown up into whatever this disaster is, and ooh, I have had a night. Okay, so it's not even 8 yet. It's close to 8, but it's not 8 yet. It's 7:40 as I'm recording this. And I'm still pet sitting, mind you. The cat peed on my stuff. The cat peed on my pill sorter. So my meds are soaked. Because, mind you, a pill sorter is not impenetrable. So the pee got into my meds. So I literally threw the whole entire pill sorter away for the week. And I am now missing out on 4 days of meds. And it's going to drive me insane. Because I am on levothyroxine for my thyroid. So not only am I going to start to feel sluggish for the next 4 days, probably a little bit after, because like I'm sure my body will be like, what the hell, like where is it? And then I'm gonna take that pill as soon as I like can on Sunday whenever I get home, and my body's still not gonna like register the fact that I have that pill. Ugh. And then my lamotrigine, if anyone knows what that is, it's a mood stabilizer. So ooh, 4 days without. I'll probably end up taking one as soon as I get home. I think I'm gonna get home Saturday night from pet sitting, but I'm not sure yet. So if I do get home on Saturday night, I'm absolutely gonna take my lamotrigine as soon as I get home. But I'm just really frustrated because like I could not salvage my pills. And like, of course, I left it on the kitchen countertop, not thinking that the cat would go on the kitchen countertop and pee on my stuff, but he did. The kitchen countertop is not looking pretty. I have tried cleaning it with multiple things that I've read online, help from friends. Ugh, I just need a break. I need a break. I need a break from trying to figure out how to clean it. So I decided that I would like take that break and record a podcast episode, because honestly, this episode is kind of ironic because I'm not feeling confident right now. I'm actually the opposite of it. I feel like the last episode, I looked good, I felt good, I was super confident, I could like pull it off, right? But of course, that's my first video podcast. So of course I'm gonna look good. Of course I'm gonna put effort into the way that I look. I'm gonna be a little bit more like self-conscious when it comes to that and all that jazz. But no, today you get the I look like I rolled out of bed, to be quite honest with you. I didn't, but I look like I did. Maybe I look like I had a long day, because I definitely had a long day. Work was killer. Um, my last phone call of the day, I got yelled at for transferring her, which I didn't transfer her. If anyone knows how like the back world of like a call center works, I was kind of upset that she was yelling at me when I didn't do anything wrong. So I called her out on it. And I was like, I'm just really confused because I wasn't the one to transfer you, so I'm really not sure what's going on. Like I literally said it pretty much like that. Maybe not word for word, but I basically was telling her how I was confused on what was going on and what she was looking for and what she was wanting, because I wasn't the one to transfer her. That kind of toned her down a little bit, because I was like, okay, it wasn't me, first of all. Second of all, I'm trying to help you. Because she literally, like when I said my little spiel, um, she was like my, like introducing myself on the phone spiel. She was like, you're supposed to get people's names when you call, or like when they call you and get their information down and not just transfer them, I want to speak to a supervisor. And I literally like my spiel is like, hi, I'm Marissa, whatever. And then I say, what can I have your name, please? Like, I'm literally starting to ask for your information and you're getting all pissy up. Like, I was like, what is going on? And then like she asked for a supervisor, but then she said she needed something else. So I was like, well, would you like me to get you a supervisor? Would you like me to help you with this? Because like you're asking for multiple things. I need to know if you want one or the other or both. Because if you want both, then I'll do what I can do and then transfer you. If you need just a supervisor, I'll go ahead and get you a supervisor. If you need help from just me, then I can help you. I'm just trying to like wrap my brain around how I can help. And I just feel like she just wanted to complain. She didn't want help. So I was just like annoyed, especially because this was my last phone call of the day. But yeah, I just needed to rant because today has been a day and I feel very much not confident. So you can't even see like me scrolling. So we're gonna talk about being confident since I clearly need to talk about that. Okay, so gaining confidence is key. I'm just going to read my notes off and hope that I can turn this into an episode. I'm kind of winging it. Not really. I have good notes, but I just didn't really organize them like I normally would. At least in most episodes, I organize them. This one I had two different sources that I kind of am taking information from and compiling it into my own. So my notes are a little disorganized, so forgive me for that. But okay, so let's go ahead and start talking about confidence in and of itself first. So here's an interesting take. So if you know, I've referenced Liz a couple times. She does a podcast called Date Yourself Instead. I strongly recommend it. There's a lot of like topics that she covers that I definitely have like listened to and gained insight on. And honestly, like I just listen to her in my free time, like pretty much all the time. Like she is mostly the reason that I even wanted to start a podcast because I thought it was such an interesting take. And I feel like not only does the podcast make me constantly learn things, but like I enjoy learning things and I enjoy sharing. So I knew a podcast would be for me. But like just listening to her, like it motivates me. Which I hope I do that for y'all, that I motivate you in some way, but I guess we'll find out. You guys will maybe let me know, DM me. I always am open to hearing things. I have my ats in every single description. Um, so it's at Many Mistakes Ago podcast. And also, I have my personal on there. It's MariJade444. I keep my profiles public because I really don't have an issue with like people much anymore. Like if like I used to go back and forth between being private and being public, but finally I just decided that it wasn't like a big deal and that I would just block anyone that like disrupted my peace or didn't need to like see what I was doing or anything like that. So these are interesting takes from Liz. So let's go ahead and get into that. So here, her take is by not accepting and honoring who I am allowing myself to be less respected or valued because people can sense how you value yourself. And honestly, I get this. I don't think it always shows right off the bat, but it sometimes does. Like, you ever see somebody walking down the street or like in a store or whatever, and they're like so held up high. You're like, that person is so confident. And then there's the people who, for example, like me, I usually walk with my head down, especially if I'm like alone. Like I'll walk with my head down, kind of like not really like engaging with anyone around me or anything like that. Maybe I'll have my headphones in. It really just depends, but I'm like, you really can tell the difference. Not to say that that has anything to do with confidence. I really don't know if it does. But I think I've remembered that somewhere somebody found a link between the way that you carry yourself when like walking or being out in public and confidence. So if that's untrue, sorry, but I think there might be some truth to that. But I've heard it so long ago that I couldn't even tell you who said that or how I quoted it. Okay, so here I also see self respect comes with knowing who you are and knowing what you believe in and what you stand for. So obviously, I do believe this. Self respect kind of goes hand in hand with confidence. I feel like it's really, really hard to be confident in yourself if you don't respect yourself. And I really feel like it's hard to respect yourself if you don't have confidence. Like, I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. Because obviously, self respect is like taking care of yourself, your body, respecting all that you have to offer. You're not hurting yourself, harming yourself. You don't allow certain people to have access to your body or yourself. You kind of have, I don't want to say rules or stipulations, but it's almost like your worth and you don't have certain people access that don't deserve it. And that's a level of like self-respect, is that you have boundaries and you set them. And that's kind of one of the ways that you can kind of see somebody if they respect themselves, is kind of not based on like what boundaries they set, but kind of, if somebody lacks boundaries, they might not have much self-respect. For example, for me, there was a very, very long time where I was a doormat. I never said no. I lacked boundaries, like I lacked all boundaries. Had none. Never said no. And I had the worst self-respect. I had no self-respect. And honestly, no confidence. I was completely insecure. And now I feel like it varies in value. I feel like there's days where I'm confident and there's days where I'm just not feeling confident. I think that can tend to ebb and flow. Um, but I've definitely gotten better with respecting myself and setting boundaries. I have gotten better with saying no, and it definitely takes time. You have to know what your energy is worth. And I think saying no is really about knowing what you want and not trying to have that as a people pleasing tendency, because some people never say no as a people pleasing tendency. My people pleasing tendency that I struggle with is oversharing. I always overshare. I want people to like me. I want people to understand me. So I'm constantly oversharing, which I guess explains why I have a podcast. But also, like, it kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that I enjoy it. So I don't know what is kind of subconsciously behind that. Um, but it's definitely an interesting take. So, oh my god, I don't know if I have something in my eye. I am so sorry. I am allergic to pets, by the way. So I'm pet sitting and I have two dogs and a cat that I'm watching over. And I take an allergy pill every single day. Um, but I swear to God, there's like a dog hair or cat hair in my eye. And I'm not quite sure if there is. But this eye is just bothering me. So we'll see if I can make it through the episode in one take and not have to worry about like editing and recording different takes, because honestly, I hate editing. Like most of my podcasts, they're either done in one full take, or like I'll start it and stop it, do whatever I need to do, and then continue taking and record more. I literally, like, for the video, it's a little bit different because I'm using a different platform, and I really don't want to have to edit more than I have to. At least with the audio, I could like press start recording, stop recording, and it would still go in the same thing, like in the same audio file. But for this, I wouldn't really want to edit it. So that's why, like, you see me as me, straight up. I will drink my water. I will eat, like I was eating chips before I started recording. You'll see me touch my face probably 1,000,001 times, but it's completely fine. Okay, so if I could read the right words, that would be great. Going through experiences, bullying, living life, etc., is how we gain confidence and how we learn to respect ourselves, because self respect cannot be taught. And I find this, okay, not self respect can't be taught, confidence can't be taught. Ugh. See, this is why I wish I wanted, or I like wanted to have the energy to, to edit. But honestly, I feel like my podcasts need to be the raw me. I feel like I'm going to start doing vlogs soon, by the way. If I haven't posted a vlog by this time, there's something wrong with me, because this episode is supposed to be for like the second week of January. But I feel like my vlogs are going to be more edited. They're going to look better. They're going to be more like aesthetically pleasing, I should say. But my podcasts are going to be 100% me, 100% raw, real. Like, that's kind of my goal, is that I show the most of myself on these podcasts. And then on TikTok, I kind of just do whatever. Like social media, I kind of do just whatever I feel like. But I also, to a point, want it aesthetically pleasing. So like the videos and stuff, like I usually look pretty good. Unless I'm posting like a TikTok to my story with those stupid little filters, then I might be laying in bed with no makeup on. But usually when I post a TikTok to the feed, um, I'll at least have a little bit of makeup on and I'll look good or whatever. But yeah, these podcasts, nah, you're getting the raw, real me. You're hearing my innermost thoughts. You get to hear me ramble and rant and talk about my day. Um, I just feel like it, like podcast me is definitely the most authentic me. Social media me can be sometimes pretty open and raw, but for the most part, like it's social media, like I'm there for funsies. Um, and then for vlogging, I want the vlogging to show me, like I have two vlogs that I've already recorded but have to set aside time to edit. I don't know how those will go. I recorded me moving and then me showing off my apartment, which I'm probably going to take another shot at my apartment, because I definitely got more things. So we'll see. Um but yeah, so those might have a different vibe just because those are the only things I have recorded. Um, but I want to do like other vlogs. Like I have a coffee advent calendar, and I think that would be really cool to try the different coffees and like vlog about it. Um, and then I also want to just start finding like vlog, like I don't know what to vlog, I guess. Um, so I really think that would be Super cool. So I'm going to try that out as well. I'm going to upload my podcast to YouTube, my video podcast, because now since I'm doing videos, like I think it would be really cool for those people that don't have Spotify to be able to listen to me. So we'll see how that goes. I'll post these on YouTube. That was just an idea I came up with. Um, and then whatever vlogs I can really think of, I want to start doing that more and be more active on YouTube, because I really want to be a part of Vlogmas. Like, I keep hearing people talk about Vlogmas, and it sounds so fun. And honestly, like, I'm doing a lot this year. I'm probably going to go on some trips. And my girlfriend's kind of, I don't want to say pushing me to go on trips because that's not necessarily what's happening. But she likes to travel. So I just feel like it would be really fun to vlog, and like kind of have those experiences. So I definitely want to learn more about how to edit and do all that for you guys. Um, and just really put myself out there because, like, at this point, I really don't care. Like, it's totally fine to like share myself. Like, I'm okay with being more open about things. I feel like for a little bit after my relationship with Jeff, I fell kind of, I don't want to say off the face of the earth because I was definitely still on social media, but I just feel like now that I've come to terms with who I am and like what I stand for and gaining confidence in myself, that like I'm really more excited to share my life than anything. So I think it would be really fun, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what y'all think. Um okay, next thing. Hate comments hit a lot deeper than compliments do, especially if we are already insecure about something. Social media can tear us down even when we are confident. As kids, we are innocent. We tend to have a level of confidence before the world and other people's judgments hit us. So I was supposed to read that the opposite way, but it's fine. So social media, I feel like, is really tough, and this is kind of a good segue from what I was just talking about. I actually had a TikTok a while back that is now deleted. I had rainbow hair, right? So I had like, it was like brunette on top, and then you could see blue, and I think like a purple on the other side. Like, I think it was like blue and red or blue and purple that were like up in the front because I did strips of rainbow. Um, and in that TikTok, I was like, oh, should I do an eyebrow slit? Because I was like freshly out of the closet and like, open about it on social media. And someone was like, okay, no offense, but like Avery dupe. And I was like, do I look like Avery? And like it really just like took me a far back because don't get me wrong, Avery is not for me. I think Avery is objectively attractive, just not subjectively. Like I do prefer brunettes, but like I don't know, just something about Avery and being compared to her, I was like taken aback because I was like, how? I look nothing like her, especially now. I'm literally like pale. Look at me. And now I have red hair, but I just felt like, why are you comparing me to somebody else? And why are you calling me a dupe? Like, that's insulting. It's like saying that person is a Walmart version of you. You know? Like, be FFR. Because I don't feel like I look anything like her. And no hate to her, but it was just like, it was so odd that some random person on the internet compared me to somebody. I was like, I don't feel like I look like her. I don't act like her. Like, this was, and mind you, this was Avery. God, this was post Soph, and possibly I don't know if it was like pre JoJo, post JoJo. I can't remember the exact timeline, but this was when Avery was like kind of looking Hey Mama's like. Um, so I think it might have been post JoJo, but don't don't correct me because I'm or don't hold it against me because I'm not sure. You can correct me, but don't hold it against me. This was definitely Hey Mama's Avery time, and I was like insulted because I was like, "What are you talking about? How do I look like her?" And it just kind of like spiraled me a little bit because I was like, I can't imagine like being compared to somebody else. And honestly, the hate comments, girl, I could not take hate comments. But I think being on social media, gaining confidence, and like realizing that people just have hate in their hearts and it has nothing to do with you, I feel like I would be able to do hate comments the more that I experience them. And the more that I just realize that, right? That people just have hate in their hearts. Like they're not always nice. And like some people just want to say shit. And it isn't always helpful. It isn't always nice. So it definitely can poke at your self-esteem. It can definitely make you feel some type of way. um and honestly, comparisons to other people and to like society in general, like I feel like that just chips away at your confidence and makes us want to change things about ourselves. Like, you might look at somebody and be like, oh, wow, like my nose is so big to that person's nose in comparison. Or, for example, for me, I drink coffee and tea and a bunch of things that make my teeth not so white. So when my teeth look yellow in a world where everybody's using like teeth whitener, toothpaste, teeth whitener, mouthwash, getting their teeth professionally whitened, and I'm over here like, I mean, I brush my teeth, but I just had a coffee. Like, stop. Don't look at my mouth, you know? So I feel like there's just comparisons that make us feel insecure, but at the same time, I have to remind myself like my differences and imperfections will be loved regardless. And also, I feel like the things that we feel are imperfect that we want to change about ourselves might be something somebody else loves one day. And also, maybe we can love it ourselves, you know? I think that my teeth is a different kind of example because I can always brush my teeth, whiten my teeth, whatever. Not that I don't brush my teeth, but I could brush it, I could brush it 7 times a day or whatever, if I needed to, or brush my teeth after every single time I have a cup of coffee, whatever the case may be. I could do that more. I could do mouthwash more. I could, constantly be whitening my teeth every day. But I think that's a little ridiculous. I don't think that I should be spending all this money whitening my teeth and all that jazz. Or like somebody going to get like their nose fixed or changed and having plastic surgery. I don't think there's anything like, I'm not against changing yourself. I just feel like you shouldn't feel the need to have to. If you want to, for you, go do it. I just feel like we're pressured into looking a certain way, and like we don't have to spend our money if we don't want to. We can choose to just take care of ourselves and find a way to love that part of ourselves, whether or not we like it, whether we not or not we embrace it. Find a way to, um Okay, next thing. Don't get caught up in what other people think of you to the point where you lose respect in yourself and lose the part of you that is confident. So, for example, okay, me right now, I am just talking away. I look like this. I'm just having fun. I'm doing my thing. I'm in my element. Me last episode, I was still doing that, But I think if you look at the comparison, I was so caught up with how I looked on camera that like I was starting to get insecure and like fixing my hair a lot and making sure I looked good on the camera to a certain extent. I don't think that I went too overboard because I also knew that like this is a recording, so if I just hated it, I could just like record a new one. But sometimes we get so caught up in what other people think that we change our behavior and our bodies and our looks and all that jazz. Like, if there's a fashion trend going on, how many people follow that fashion trend just out of like wanting to fit in or wanting to look like whatever society is going for at the moment? Remember when thin eyebrows were a thing, and then all of a sudden thick eyebrows were a thing? And then like the soapy brows, like just so many different trends going on. First of all, I have no eyebrows. You see this? You see this? They're so light. But like there's so many trends and they always constantly change, and society is always telling us different fashion trends, different fads, this and that. And quite frankly, I feel like following them makes us lose ourselves. Like, the only trend I want to stick with is skinny jeans. I want to be able to wear what I like. I want to be able to look like what I like. It's none of anybody's business. If I want to be in my Mickey Mouse PJs, I'm going to be in my Mickey Mouse PJs. Like, I just feel like there's no need to get caught up in what other people think of you. And that's coming from somebody who used to worry about that all the goddamn time. I was always constantly worried if, thinking if people thought I was good enough, if I looked pretty enough, if I was skinny enough, all of that jazz. Like, I feel like I just like lost my sense of self and my respect for myself and love for myself. And I just I don't see a point, honestly. Like, I think being 26 years old, almost 27, I'm just like, you know what? Who cares what people think of me, or, you know, like, have whatever anyone has to say about me, whether it be my looks or the things. I mean, I want to be a good person, so like the things that I say and the way that I act would bother me. But like if someone was like, your face looks ugly, you have no eyebrows, I don't know, just some stupid shit. Your nose looks weird. I mean, I've never gotten a bad comment about my nose. I've have a cute nose. Which I don't think so. My side profile look a little weird because Italian nose, but whatever. um, like anyone could say anything about me, and I'd be like, okay, like, cool. It's my body. You're not living in it, so why does it matter? You're also not my partner. I'm not trying to impress you, so what does it matter? I feel like I've gotten to that point where I'm just like, confidence. Mm-mm. You can't penetrate my mind with negative self-talk. I've got enough of that going on. I don't need any outside forces. Now, granted, like I said, I do kind of have negative self talk, but it's something that I'm working towards. There's days where I'm super confident, nothing can phase me. And then there's days where things do get to me. But I feel like I've reached a certain level of confidence to where I'm able to take criticism or just like bullying and like have it wash off my back. Um, this is interesting. So this is more of a question, but it's, who are you when no one else is watching or around? Because that is your truest self. So is hold on, is that here or no? Okay. I was hoping it was here, but I don't think it is. I think it might be in a different podcast that I have set up, or I just didn't write it down. But basically, there's like three versions of yourself. It's when you're completely alone, which is like your truest self. Then there's a version of you with like your close friends and family, and like you're a little bit deeper with those connections, but you're not fully your true self, quote unquote. And then like your acquaintances, where like they kind of know a surface level version of you. Um, so I find that interesting with the three versions of you. I definitely think that I have a barrier of what I allow people to see, but I feel like, at least in my podcast, I feel like that's like close friend level. Like, y'all hear me, and this is stuff I would say to like my closest friends. This is not stuff I would say to my acquaintances, like TikTok, Instagram, like that's kind of for my acquaintances. Obviously my close friends too. You know what I mean? It has that more like surface level feel to it. And then my podcasts are more like a close friend, close feel type of vibe. And then I don't really show anyone my true self. Like, my girlfriend still is probably to this day gonna struggle with getting that brick wall down. But I feel like there's just a certain like level that I'm comfortable with sharing. And I feel like that like surface level to close friend level is very easily broken in this podcast. Because I definitely do say what's on my mind more, and I don't really filter myself in the podcast, just for the sheer fact that, like, why should I have to? Like, if you don't want to listen to the things that I have to say, just shut me off, close the app, put me on mute. Like, whatever you want to do. But like, if you want to hear my opinions, if you want to get to know me, if you think the things that I'm saying are interesting or motivating or just inspire you in some sort of way, like, yeah, like, we're gonna be besties. If you want to be besties, like, hit me up. No, but seriously, like, I feel like there's different levels and different tiers to us, to how much we show our true selves. Um, so okay, what is having confidence though? Having confidence is about vocally vocalizing how you feel, asking for what you want, saying what you need, saying what you deserve, knowing what you deserve, standing up for yourself, and stopping with the people pleasing tendencies. So, in order to have confidence, those are great ways and great things to take in consideration and to follow. If you want to have confidence and you want that confidence to show, start asking for what you need. Start vocalizing how things make you feel. Say no. You don't have to be a people pleaser. You don't have to follow people pleasing tendencies. And stand up for yourself and what you believe in. If you have an opinion and it differs from whoever you're having a conversation with, say it. Say it respectfully, but like, you can open up the floor. Like, we're all allowed to have opinions. Okay, next point. The reality is that life goes on without you, and you need to focus on what makes you happy and live for yourself. Don't live for anyone else, nor their opinions, nor their approval. So that's a huge one. Basically, we die. We off. We go wherever you believe we go after we die, right? We're no longer here. We're either cremated, buried in a ground, however your family and loved ones choose to do with you when you die. Life goes on without you. Yes, you'll be remembered by people, but that memory slowly fades year by year. Less people miss you. I shouldn't say it like that. Not less people miss you, but like, you have a funeral, right? And then, like, year after year, you're really close knitted people. They're going to show up at your grave if you're buried. Otherwise, like, it really does dwindle down and die down. Like, if you've seen is it A Man Named Otto or A Man Called Otto, whatever the movie is, like, he visits his wife's grave like every so often. I don't know how often because it doesn't really say it in the movie, but like, what about his best friends, or his what about her best friends? What about, I mean, she never really had a kid, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know how often these people are visiting. And granted, like, I can give you a real life example of my grandfather. Like, when he passed away, you know, I would go with my mom very rarely. It was really hard to visit the site, if I'll be honest with you. But I've only went a handful of times, maybe a couple times with my mom, a couple times alone. And he passed away in 2018. And this episode is going to be posted in 2024, but it's December 2023 right now. So you've got to think that's 5 years, and I visited a handful of times. Now, granted, life happens. I moved out of state this year. He's buried in Connecticut, so that's kind of far. Um, but I guess my point is like, things do fade. People's memories do fade. As years go on, like, you're going to be buried in that ground, and like, your grandkids, their kids, like, eventually your grave is just not going to be visited. And that really sucks to say. But like, it's also a harsh reality that I think might possibly motivate people to live for themselves, because yes, we do have our loved ones, but our memory will not always carry on. God, I don't mean to be so morbid here, but it sounds like I am. How else can I put this? Like, I don't really know how else to put it. Like, let's be real. I visited my grandfather's grave, but I don't think I know who his mother and father is. Like, my grandfather's parents, I don't know who they are. I've never visited their grave. So I guess, like, that's kind of the mentality that I was going for. Like, yes, like, my mom, I know one day she will pass away, and it'll honestly break my heart. But if I'm not in Connecticut and she is buried in Connecticut, I'm not going to visit her grave every day. I'm not. Maybe I'll speak to her, like, in my bed, in hopes that she hears me from another life. But for the most part, like, if she was buried, let's say I moved back to Connecticut and she was buried in Connecticut, I would maybe go once a week, but I feel like life would get in the way. It would turn into once every couple weeks, once every month. Eventually, you just move on after a while. And like, that's so selfish to say, but it is the harsh reality. We die and life still goes on. Life still happens. We can't just stop life to go visit people at the grave. So I think, with that being said, life, like, if I were to die, I feel like my mom would visit. I feel like my loved ones would visit. But after a while, like, your memory fades. Oh my God, this sounds so morbid, and I don't like it. But it's a harsh reality that, like, at 26, I really shouldn't be thinking about. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad to hear it, for the sheer fact that, like, I want to die knowing I did what made me happy. I'm not living for anybody else. If somebody doesn't like my teeth because they're not perfectly white, go fuck yourself. If somebody doesn't like that my hair is red, go fuck yourself. If somebody doesn't like my face, go fuck yourself. I'm living for me. If I like me, that's all that matters. I like when I dye my hair red. I feel the most confident. I might not like that my teeth aren't perfectly white, but I'm not damaging them by freaking bleaching them every day. You know? And like, even like personality, job, car, house, apartment, all of my life choices, I'm gay. I'm in a gay relationship. If you have a problem with that, go fuck yourself. I'm 26 years old and I don't own a house. I don't want to own a house. Go fuck yourself. I want to travel. I want to live. I want to see the United States by living in it. Go fuck yourself. I don't want kids. I don't want to carry on my bad genes. Go fuck yourself. That's confidence. I am living for me, and I hope that just gave y'all the motivation to go live for you, because fuck what anybody else thinks. Like, I'm so serious. Don't be paying attention to other people. They are living their own lives, and you should be able to live your own too. If somebody has a judgment on your life, who cares? They're not you. You're supposed to live your life for you, because when you die, what you did is only going to matter to you, and you're going to have to die with it. I was about to say live with it, but if you're dead, you're not living. Top sense humor right here. God, I feel like this might be a video into the reasons I should be in a mental asylum. Again. Okay, anyway, if you don't like my sense of humor, go fuck yourself. Okay, what else do we got here? Oh, I'm having so much fun with this episode that it's put me in such a better mood. Like, I was having a pretty shit day, but I'm like able to like laugh about it now. So I feel good. This is why I like podcasting. This genuinely like is enjoyable to me. Like, I don't know what took me to so long to start a podcast, but like I vibe with it. Sorry. If you have the level of anxiety to where you rip the skin off of your lips, join the club. Anyway, where are we? We've done that. Okay, so another point that Liz made that I want to bring up is define yourself as a respectable person. Try to avoid gossip, bullying, and negativity, and set yourself up to be the type of person that is respectable, because it shows more self-respect when you don't feed into drama or negativity or bullying. It shows that you are honestly above all of that, and not in like a snotty way, but in a like, I respect myself and I respect other people, and I'm not going to lower myself to y'all's standards of bullying and hatred and negativity. Like, there's just no need for that. Like, we are no longer in high school. And it's so fucked for me to say that personally, because even after high school, I was involved with like bullying, what's it called? Subtweeting, like stuff like that online for a good couple years. I don't really have a timeline, but like even when like Jeff and I broke up, I was definitely subbing him, you know? I was being petty. But like friendship wise, I feel like I stopped subbing friends in like 2022. I feel like 2023, yeah, in 2023, I don't think I've subbed any friends online. Like, I kind of just got over that. Like, if I had an issue with somebody, I handled that shit personally. And if I didn't have an issue with anybody, like, then I just didn't. You know what I mean? 2022, I think, was like the end of my subbing because I just realized that, like, if I don't like somebody, all I have to do is just like not talk to them. I don't need to like talk about them on social media. I don't need to burn a bridge. Like, none of that is really necessary anymore. And I think that respecting yourself comes with like maintaining and respecting your peace. Um, and that's all I want is like, I want to have a level of peace where I just don't worry about negativity or drama or any of that jazz. Okay, next portion here. Um, Developing a sense of self love. Start with setting clear boundaries with others, exercising and moving your body for health reasons and to feel good. So I think a lot of us work out and like go to the gym because we want a better body. And granted, that's a great motivator, but I feel like it's not always consistent. We get tired, we don't see results, and we kind of give up. Like, think about it. A lot of people's New Year's resolution at one point or another is to go to the gym or go to the gym more. Doesn't it die down in like February or March when people give up because they don't see results or they don't want to get up early, they don't have time in their day? Like, whatever the case may be in regards to that. And I just feel like if we looked at exercising, working out, and going to the gym as something for our mental health and for just our health in general, I feel like we would start caring more. And that's kind of the mindset that I'm going into with 2024 is I want to work out because I want to feel good. I want to feel good mentally and physically. I want to be able to climb a flight of stairs without losing my breath, quite frankly. I want to be able to hike again, and I want to be able to enjoy the world when I travel. I don't want to be out of breath all the time. I want to be able to fit into my clothes. Now, granted, that one's a little bit more like selfish and like tied to the wrong reasons, but I have a scale, for example, and it's one of those scales that like measures other things. Like, it measures like your body fat percentage and like how much like water you're consuming or water weight or something like that. Like, it gives you like a bone mass, muscle mass, like it gives you like valid numbers on your body. And I feel like seeing those things really hurt me, but also motivated me because I'm 26. It said that my metabolic age was 31. That's 5 years ahead of me. And like, that was just like the thing that I needed to snap me into it and be like, I really need to live a healthier lifestyle if I want to like have any means of enjoying myself and having a good life and living a good life. Let's be real. Okay, next portion. Learn. I had a typo. It's supposed to be lean. Lean into the people that make you feel good and confident about yourself. Those that support you and lift you up. Those are the people that keep you grounded and keep you going, and they help you respect yourself and love yourself. So you want to be around the right type of people. You want to be around people who give you confidence, who make you feel confident, who make you feel like a good person, who motivate you to be a good person. You really just want to surround yourself with better, more uplifting, positive energy. And that is like the hardest thing, right? Because I feel like we live in a world with a lot of negativity, a lot of negative self talk. And I feel like who we surround ourselves with really can mirror who we are as a person. And that's something that I really struggle with because for a long time, I surrounded myself with the wrong people unintentionally. I have a lot of people in my life, and a lot of the people that were in my life were very gossipy. They were very high school mindset. Like there was bullying, there was gossip, people talking about each other. Sometimes those people that were talking bad about other people were friends. Like, how am I hearing you talk bad about your best friend to me? That's not right. So like I just feel like all of that energy just like needs to be like let go of and get rid of it. Like if you have friends that are talking bad about somebody who they say is their friend, run. 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 If they're like, yeah, they're my best friend, but they're a fucking cunt. Probably shouldn't have said that on a podcast. But you get what I'm saying? Like, oh, I love her, but she's just so mean. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, they just talk shit about somebody who's supposedly their best friend. Run! Because what are they saying about you? That was a huge thing, actually, now that I think about it. RIP Vinny. But when I was dating Vinny, he would talk shit about all of his friends. And some of them, they were like supposedly like his best friends. And he would talk shit about them to me. And after like hearing that, I was like, if that's his best friend, what is he saying about me as his girlfriend? Like, what is he telling other people? And I really like let that sink in because I was like, I'm surrounding myself with these types of people. And God knows what they're saying about me. I want to be able to be friends and date somebody where I could not be in that room and I don't have to worry about protecting myself or my peace or who I am as a person. I want to be able to have somebody that not only doesn't talk about me when I'm not in the room, but will defend me if somebody talks about me when I'm not in the room. That's the kind of friends that I want. That's the type of person I want to be in a relationship with. Like, because that's the type of person I would be for them too. And I think that that took a lot of growing up to kind of realize like I want to be that type of person and I want those types of people in my life. Um However, getting there is going to be fun because in order to get there I need friends in Texas. But we'll get there. I'll find my people, whoever they are. I feel like I found some good ones, but I genuinely miss the friend group that I had when I was in Connecticut. I feel like I met all of these people, and most of them on Bumble BFF, if I'm not mistaken, that are such kind souls and great people. And I miss hanging out with them. And I just feel like I'm really looking for that here. It's just really tough. But it's okay. I get it. I know that it's hard. Um, but it's definitely going to be a long road. However, I am optimistic because I've been on Bumble BFF more actively and actually trying to make friends. Like if I want friends, I need to like put in some effort, duh, Marissa. But for the most part, I just feel like I'm doing okay and I'm happy and content with where I am. I just kind of miss some things about home, and I think my friend group is one of them. And that's completely okay, you know? Um, it just makes me think about it sometimes. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have more to talk about, but this episode is already like an hour long, and I just feel like I kind of want to split this next portion up into maybe like a bonus episode. I feel like that would be super fun. Um, but this is about having a relationship with food, and the confidence surrounding food relationships, and those that have struggled with like an eating disorder. So I feel like that is definitely going to be, I'm going to put a trigger warning on this episode just because I do talk about food and weight a little bit, but I think I'm definitely going to have that be a separate trigger warning episode just so whoever wants to steer away from that episode that they do. Um but yeah, I feel like that's more appropriate that I just kind of separate that cuz I do care about what people like are listening to, and I do try to think about like if I say anything triggering, I try to put a trigger warning. It's just very hard if I like loosely say something in an episode and then I'm like, oh shit, that should have had a trigger warning. Whereas, like, if I have a whole full on topic, like this, this bonus episode that I'm gonna create, um, I feel like the bonus episode is a lot easier for me to just put trigger warning in the title. Um, and not really, hold on, I'm going to put bonus episode trigger warning. Okay. I'm putting notes in. Of course, you can't see it, but I'm putting notes in for the bonus episode. But basically, I just feel like it's a lot easier to have that separate. Whereas, like, this episode, I kind of started talking about like triggering things, like having a scale and stuff like that. And I was like, oh shit, like now I'm gonna need to put a trigger warning and like put that in my head. Whereas, like, there's some episodes where I might just like slip in something and not realize that it can be a trigger for somebody else. And granted, I know like as a society, we've gotten kind of like soft per se. Um, but in this case, like who I am as a person is really important to me. And that comes with all of my experiences. And if I were to listen to like a podcast episode that talks about something that would be triggering to me and there wasn't a trigger warning, I would probably be upset. Like, I wouldn't be upset at the person for not labeling it, but I would be upset about like listening to the episode and being like, well, now like I have this like triggering thing that they're talking about, and now my mind is like going there. So I just feel like if we're going to talk about like deep and sensitive topics, like I want to be cautious of that and, do better for whoever my audience is. Um, so with that being said, if I have an episode that doesn't have like TW or any sort of trigger warning in either the name or description, and you find it in the episode and like you see that there's no labeling for it, please message me. I will add it into the episode name or the description. Like, my fear is that like nobody reads the description. So I'll like put it at the beginning and it still won't be enough. But I want to at least put my best foot forward and my best efforts into taking those things into consideration because, like I said, I want to think about who I was when I was younger. Had I been like a podcast listener and I heard something triggering, and I don't want to like give examples because I don't want this to be a trigger warning episode, or I should say a triggering episode. Um, God, I've probably said that word so many times you could take a shot for every time I said that and be drunk. um, I just realized that that's also something that people might struggle with, sobriety. Good job, Marissa. You know what? I think that it's almost 9 o'clock and I've been recording for an hour and I'm rambling and I got stuck on the topic of triggers. And now I'm just spitting out everything that's gonna ever make anyone feel uncomfortable. Okay, alright. I tried. I put in my best efforts. And this was really an interesting episode. And I'm really happy I did it. I hope you guys liked my jokes, but if you didn't, go fuck yourself. But I feel like me being able to record this entire podcast episode, watching my flaws, literally, I'm like looking at the screen of my face, seeing all of my physical flaws, or what I would consider physical flaws, and talking. Dude, hearing my voice and some of the things that I say are just ridiculous. That is a level of confidence because I'm still going to post this and I have done the best that I can to be fun, entertaining, educating, and also I care, but also like, okay, I don't want to call myself Matt Rife because I'm nowhere near Matt Rife. But I mean, in the sense that he's like, you guys are so sensitive, like chill. I have a level of that and also a level of I don't want to hurt or offend anyone. Like I have both in my personality. So like I guess what I'm just trying to say is like there's multiple, like I have a duality going on to me, and like I'm still posting this podcast. And if that doesn't show a level of confidence, I don't know what will, because I'm putting my realist, raw self out here right now for y'all. And that makes me happy because honestly, I feel like I finally reached a level where I just don't care. I don't care what y'all think about me. You could hate me, you could love me, but at the end of the day, as long as I love me, that's all that matters in this world. And honestly, if all you do is love yourself, that is all that matters in this world. Nobody has to love you, but you have to love yourself. Because if you don't, at the end of the day, like you are living with yourself 24/7. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. No, I'm just kidding. If you don't like living with yourself, you should probably evaluate and figure out how to love yourself. Because confidence is scary, but it is so good when you reach that level of I don't care, I'm living for me. Nah, it just feels so good. It hits so different. Oh, anyway, I love you guys. I will talk to you and ramble for you on the next episode. It's going to be the bonus episode. It's going to be a trigger warning. So if you don't like it, skip it, and I'll see you next week. Oh, I should probably hit the stop button instead of the leave button. I'm still learning, guys.